Good afternoon. My name is Clayton Harrington, and I'm one of the priests here at Emmanuel Episcopal Church in Athens, Georgia. Today is March the 17th, 2021, and this is the midweek meditation for this week. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about sacred space. I think it has to do with a couple of reasons. One, our gospel text a week ago was Jesus cleansing the temple. And there seems to be a movement for Jesus from worship having to do with a specific location to a location of heart, where Jesus envisions later on in the next chapter of the Gospel of John, in chapter 4, Jesus says, "There will come a time when you won't worship on that mountain or this mountain, but you will worship the Father in spirit and in truth." I think it also has to do with the fact that we've recently been worshiping not only on our live stream in the nave here at Emmanuel, but also outside, and that has become a new sacred space. But we're also looking forward to being able to return inside as we're able to start slowly returning to our beautiful space, a space that is so sacred to so many of us. And I think finally, I've been thinking about it as we move to say goodbye to the chapel on campus where I am the Episcopal chaplain, where we are preparing to say goodbye to St. Mary's Chapel as we actually have a secularization service happening this very day. And so thinking about how that space has been a sacred space, a special place where people have encountered God and have learned about faith and life and love and what it means to say goodbye to a space, a sacred space. At Camp Michael, people often refer to Camp Michael as a thin space. A space where the divide between heaven and earth, it's thin. I think that's a helpful way for us when we think about spaces that are sacred to us. Where are those places in your life where you are aware of how thin the space between heaven and earth really is? That's what makes a space sacred. It's our awareness of the fact that God is always present with us. God is always imminently close to us. That's why spaces like our beautiful church are so special to us, and why we're so eager to be back in a greater capacity, is that in those spaces we've become aware of how close God is to us. And we rejoice that we'll be able to re-enter those spaces. But I wonder what we can learn from that year that we've been outside of the space. Where are those places in our lives where we've met God in this year of pandemic? When have we felt God close to us? What spaces have become sacred to us because we've met God in them? I think that's something that we can take with us as we begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel of this challenging year in pandemic. I think we have an opportunity to learn to have a movable, sacred space. Not that we can't treasure and hold on to those spaces that will forever be sacred to us, but to learn that any space can be sacred. Any space that we enter into, God is already there. We just have to tune our eyes and tune our hearts, our spiritual eyes and our hearts, to be able to see and to know that God is with us. I look forward to being able to see many of you in our sacred spaces, whether it is inside or whether it is outside. I look forward to seeing you more and more as over the coming days, in Holy Week and Easter. I'm wishing you all a blessed rest of your Lent, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon.